This will defend.
Fly Army.
Above the best.
Good morning, graduates, family members, and guests. On behalf of Major General Claire Gill, Commanding General, United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence and Fort Novosel, welcome to the graduation ceremony for flight school. Would everyone please stand for the invocation and the playing of the national anthem. Chaplain Dane Reinhardt will give our invocation.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for watching over us and sustaining us as a nation. Your sovereign will established this great country, and your strong hand has steadied us during times of difficulty. We give you thanks today for the United States. Throughout our nation's history, you have raised up such strong and courageous men and women to lead the way in the defense of freedom, those willing to put their lives on the line. We give you thanks today for your providence for these great soldiers who graduate today, willing to fight for the causes of our great country. Thank you also, Lord, for their families and friends who support them in this worthy and honorable profession. Be with us today as we celebrate their graduation and entry into the ranks of those who have served honorably. Be a blessing to us all as we rejoice in their accomplishments, and may everything bring glory and honor to you. To your name I pray. Amen.
Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem. Gentlemen, please remove your headdress. Thank you. You may be seated. Please welcome Lieutenant Colonel Brian Haas, Commander of 1st Battalion, 14th Aviation Regiment.
Good morning. What an exciting day for Army Aviation. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to today's graduation ceremony. Family members, friends, and instructors, thank you for your support in commemorating this tremendous occasion. We are delighted you can celebrate with us this morning. Attending the ceremony, representing the United States Army Center of Excellence are Colonel Jason Woodward, 1st Aviation Brigade Commander, Colonel Christopher Luxon, Deputy Commandant for the Army National Guard and Senior Guard Advisor, Colonel Mary Elizabeth Scott, Deputy Assistant Commandant for the United States Army Reserve, and Lieutenant Colonel Jody Kilmer, 1st Aviation Brigade Executive Officer. Thank you for joining us. To our newest Army aviators, congratulations on achieving a significant milestone. It is in just a few minutes, your flight school journey will come to an end as your friends and family pin the wings you've worked so hard to achieve on your chest. I hope they will always remind you of three things: the professional aviators who trained you, the special community you now belong to, and the sacred duty we have to support the ground force. The ground force is depending on you to get them where they need to be, when they need to be there, or to protect them from the enemy. And when you find yourself on the receiving end of a frantic radio call for help, I know you will respond. Moving heaven and earth to help the men and women on the ground, because that's what Army Aviation is all about. We exist to support the ground force. I'm proud of you and eager to see each of you realize your full potential as an Army aviator. Before I introduce our guest speaker, I would like to quickly reiterate the process for pinning our aviators. Your aviator will be called forward, cross the stage, and then stand before the stage to await their family or friends to come up and pin their wings. The Master of Ceremony will cue you by saying, "Please come forward to pin your aviator." At that time, please come forward and pin the wings on your aviator. Take a brief moment to celebrate this momentous occasion before returning to your seats. The stage will be available after graduation for you to take as many additional photographs as you would like. Graduates, this is a defining moment for you and your family, one you will likely never forget. Congratulations to all of you. Now, it is my great pleasure to introduce the guest speaker for today's ceremony. Brigadier General Ken Cole is a Deputy Commanding General for the United States Army Aviation Center of Excellence here at Fort Novosel. He is a master aviator with more than 30 years of military service and was commissioned in 1994 from the United States Military Academy. Upon completion of flight school training, he was rated in the OH-58 Kiowa helicopter. He holds a Bachelor of Science degree in International and Strategic History from the United States Military Academy, a Master of Military Arts and Sciences from the Command and General Staff College, and was also a Senior Service College Fellow at the George C. Marshall European Center for Security Studies. During his time in the Army, he attained ratings in the CH-47 and MH-47 Chinooks and the UH-60 Lima Black Hawk helicopters, as well as a couple of older aircraft that are not in service anymore. He has received numerous awards and decorations for his service and served in a number of combat, operational, and key positions as the commander of the 12th Aviation Brigade and commander of the 3rd Battalion, 2nd Combat Aviation Brigade. He also served as the Chief of Staff of the Joint Corps. He is married to Dyla Cole and has 4 children. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brigadier General Ken Cole.
He's a little bit taller. Hey, thanks, Colonel Haas. Distinguished guests, families and friends, and to the graduates, welcome, and thank you for joining us today to celebrate and remember this important milestone in Army aviation. Okay, so heads up. It's going to be a little bit like Lewis Carroll's Christmas Story and a journey through time. So I'm going to start with the past. I called my mom last night to pick her memories, and as she said, that's dangerous territory plucking around inside the memories of a 79-year-old. But I found the experience to be pretty neat, so I decided I would share it with you today. So my dad and the Officer Rotary Wing course, 69-14, graduated from flight school in the summer of '69. No, it's not a Bryan Adams song. Hats were in, dual engines were out. When they reported to flight school, the chaplain, yes, it was the chaplain, gathered all the ladies together, because this was just men, gathered all the ladies together in a room and said, "Ladies, you will get up every morning. Your husbands have to go to the flight line very early. You'll get up every morning and fix them a hot breakfast. And if you don't, and they crash and die, it's your fault." So my mom actually did that. I remember my dad talking about heading straight to Vietnam, but before I get to that, they had a formation flight every 2 weeks as the graduates got through their school. Again, remember, no warrant officers. Because he listened, when he got to Vietnam, he listened to the moon landing on the radio right after he got there. Hueys ran continuously over there. And I think this was my dad's first experience with a warrant officer when he got to Vietnam. And he said, as they flew all day into the night, he looked over at the warrant officer, the pilot in command, who was leading them through the day. And my dad looked over at the warrant officer and said, "Isn't there some limit to the number of hours we can fly in a day?" And you guys know the warrant officer's answer. "Yeah, 24, you dumb son of a..." Edited. So moving forward to my flight school graduation, I came here in 1994 with my wife Dyla. I was a blue hat. I think we have a picture of that up in here. The Army had blue and green uniforms. The Comanche, which is in here, didn't exist. I showed up nice and early in the wrong shirt. So blue's shirt with green uniform. I noticed it at the last second. Mom and Dad were running late as well. Ran home. I actually brought the green shirt back here, the correct shirt, threw my white shirt that went with the blues into one of these helicopters so that we can do a scavenge, see if it's still in there. It might still be there. I have no memory of who spoke. I have no memory of what they said. I don't think any of us cared. But I do remember the Mohawk that's in front of the museum flew its last flight somewhere around there. And the OH-58, which I think we have a picture of, that's our family day, was actually the aircraft that I flew. Right, and it's on a stick right there out front. Okay, let's come to the present. So, you have persevered. Some of you have been here for upwards of 2 years and beyond in some cases. You fly all of the aircraft in the Army's inventory. Congratulations for your perseverance with all of the classes, weather, maintenance, flying, not flying, instructors you loved, memorization, tests, weekends at the beach, emergencies, both real and imagined and memorized and practiced, you've dealt with while you were here. So I'm going to do something a little bit different here. I'd like to offer you a chance to congratulate yourselves. Let's give yourselves a round of applause. And take a minute, look to your left and right. Hopefully you'll get to serve with these fantastic aviators again. That's good. I like that. And let's congratulate your teammates to your left and right. All right. And if the cadre will permit me, graduating class, please take a moment, stand up, turn around, and applaud for the folks that have supported you since you started this long journey. Okay. Thanks. And for the families and friends that are here, take that moment when you come up. When you pin those wings, make sure you get those pictures. And we've got teams here to help you if you need it. Okay, so let's move into the future. You face a world of uncertainty. Trust me. The whole Army has work for you. There's no higher demand for anything in our Army than Army Aviation. As evidence, I submit our op-tempo, that's operation, our flying hour programs across the Army. You are the infantry, the armor, the artillery, medical evacuation, air assault, deep fires, intel, surveillance, reconnaissance in the third dimension. And when you think to yourself, wow, I am busy, maybe too busy. And this thought will cross your minds, just as it crossed my mind. And it crossed my dad's mind when a warrant officer was instructing him on how many hours there were in the day. I challenge you with another way of thinking. Consider the alternative. The opposite of busy is irrelevant, bored, or both. And my guess is that's not what you signed up for. You signed up for the sacred trust that Colonel Haas just talked about. And now you bear the torch of that trust for all of the Army aviators who flew before you, who will fly around you, to your left and right, and who will fly after you. That sacred trust is to our teammates on the ground. And to turn a quote from one of my favorite movies, there's no call from them that we will not answer. If we put them in, we will get them out. There's nothing in front of them that we will not or cannot. There's no casualty we will not recover when I have your wounded. And I have only 2 rules of combat to pass along to you. Anything can happen at any time, and you will fly tonight. Be ready. They're counting on you. Please continue to keep our deployed service members and especially our air crews in your thoughts and prayers. May God bless all of you, and may He continue to bless this great nation. Above the best, Fly Army.
Thank you, General Cole, for your inspiring remarks. At this point in the ceremony, we honor those graduates who have excelled in the course. Graduates who are within the top 20% of their class receive special recognition as Commandant's List graduates, honor graduates, or distinguished graduates. The Distinguished Graduate is the title bestowed upon those officers who attain the highest overall scholastic average throughout the entire course of instruction. As the title implies, it is the mark of excellence representing outstanding achievement in academic and flight endeavor. The Distinguished Graduate receives engraved sterling silver wings provided by the Army Aviation Association of America, plus an additional gift from the Military Officers Association of America. At this time, I take pleasure in announcing the Distinguished Graduate from Class 25002, Lieutenant Charles Mills, Distinguished Graduate. Second Lieutenant Mills is an active duty CH-47 Fox pilot. Please come forward and pin your aviator. We will now recognize the remaining top 20%. Lieutenant Noah Armstrong, honor graduate. Second Lieutenant Armstrong is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Georgia National Guard. Lieutenant Samuel Hawkins, honor graduate. Second Lieutenant Hawkins is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Alaska National Guard. Now we will recognize the remainder of the class in alphabetical order by rank. Lieutenant Michael Emmons. First Lieutenant Emmons is an active duty AH-64 Echo pilot. Lieutenant Alec Guay. Second Lieutenant Guay is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Ohio National Guard. Please come forward and pin your aviator. Lieutenant Jordan Gunderman. First Lieutenant Gunderman is an active duty AH-64 Echo pilot. Lieutenant Sean Guthrie. Second Lieutenant Guthrie is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Arizona National Guard. Captain Aaron Peoples. Captain Peoples is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Nebraska National Guard. Lieutenant Emma Richard Smith. Second Lieutenant Richard Smith is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Lieutenant Adam Rowe. Second Lieutenant Rowe is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Please come forward and pin your aviator. Lieutenant Caleb Rowland. Second Lieutenant Rowland is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Tennessee National Guard. Lieutenant Ryan Santoro. Second Lieutenant Santoro is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Lieutenant Sidney Schaff. Second Lieutenant Schaff is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Captain Jake Scroggins III. Captain Scroggins is an active duty AH-64 Echo pilot. Lieutenant Carlos Samanji. Second Lieutenant Samanji is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Army Reserve based out of Texas. Please come forward and pin your aviator. Lieutenant Gwyneth Terry. Second Lieutenant Terry is a CH-47 Fox pilot with the Nevada National Guard. Warrant Officer Trey Babcock. WO1 Babcock is a CH-47 Fox pilot with the Nevada National Guard. Warrant Officer Logan Bevan. WO1 Bevan is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Minnesota National Guard. Warrant Officer Kyle Buchanan. WO1 Buchanan is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the Indiana National Guard. Warrant Officer Hua Chen. WO1 Chen is an AH-64 Echo pilot with the Texas National Guard. Please come forward and pin your aviator. Warrant Officer Trenton Eddy. WO1 Eddy is a UH-60 Mike pilot with the South Dakota National Guard. Warrant Officer Caleb Franklin. WO1 Franklin is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Roy Fulgham. WO1 Fulgham is an active duty AH-64 Echo pilot. Warrant Officer Gabriel Garrett. WO1 Garrett is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Young Han Noel Kim. WO1 Kim is a CH-47 Fox pilot with the California National Guard. Please come forward and pin your aviator. Officer Anthony Kaiser. W01 Kaiser is an active duty AH-64 Echo pilot. Warrant Officer Nicholas Lansford. W01 Lansford is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Angel Lopez. W01 Lopez is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Sebastian Lugo. W01 Lugo is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Henry Martinez. W01 Martinez is a CH-47 Fox pilot with the Maryland National Guard. Please come forward and pin your aviator. Warrant Officer Lena Porte. W01 Porte is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Adam Reinhardt. W01 Reinhardt is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Julian Rivera. W01 Rivera is a CH-47 Fox pilot with the Florida National Guard. Warrant Officer Blake Sewell. W01 Sewell is an active duty AH-64 Echo pilot. Warrant Officer Adriana Valenzuela. W01 Valenzuela is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Please come forward and pin your aviator. Warrant Officer Cameron Van Veckhoven. W01 Van Veckhoven is an active duty CH-47 Fox pilot. Warrant Officer Christopher Vonderlin. W01 Vonderlin is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Terrell White. W01 White is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Warrant Officer Hugo Zaragoza. W01 Zaragoza is an active duty UH-60 Mike pilot. Please come forward and pin your aviator. Graduates, please stand. Please join me in a round of applause for the Army's newest aviation warfighters. Would everyone please stand or remain standing for the playing of the aviation song, Above the Best, and the Army song, The Army Goes Rolling Along. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the graduation ceremony. Thank you for celebrating with us and enjoy the rest of your day. Class leader, please dismiss the class.